Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire.
All right, so welcome back to our third part of the revisit of free mode in the West, where we're doing that fast Winnemucca. We did fast Winnemucca in the first episode. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself. And the second episode, we built out our four-city cluster with Baker City, our headquarters, and Winnemucca, and Salt Lake City, where we're getting the meat, which is the hard part about building this up, and Nampa as our fourth city. In Nampa, we have to grow because we have to put a university in there. And that's a level 3. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so we've got our first four-city cluster. Now, to really make this cluster pop, we need to bring in raw materials to feed the industries. And then we need to kind of balance out the industry. You can see right now it started out with just beer, and then meat was over here and we couldn't even get to it. So we finally worked our way over there. But now we still got beer, and then this ridiculous tailor that the computer put in when we don't even have textiles anywhere. So what we need to do is two things. We need to get raw materials in, and we need to rebalance these. So we either rip out this tailor and put in a textile, or we put textile somewhere else. But somehow that tailor is just worthless until we have a cloth company somewhere, a textile manufacturer, providing it with cloth. So we want to rebalance it and try to balance out the cluster so that it has, so we don't have repeats. You don't need two beer in a nice cluster like this. If you could keep building up one, and then you put something else that you do need in the slot in the other city. So the first thing we want to do is figure out how do we want to move the raw materials in. And if you look at what we've got around us, we've got logs in about 3 places. We've got corn, we've got veggies, we've got wheat in a couple of places. We've got cotton down here. We've got the meat, the cattle is way over here. We've got salt if we ever get to that part. We've even got iron ore up here if we get that far. So I say if because we probably, the cities will be big enough for us to end the playthrough before we ever get to the iron ore probably. So I think what we'd like to do, let's put a warehouse along here and let it serve Baker City and Winnemucca. And then let's put another warehouse over here somewhere, either up here or down here, we'll decide in a minute. And let it serve Nampa and Salt Lake City. So maybe we'll move it down here somewhere, a little more, maybe down here, so more centralized. And that will allow us to feed in what these cities need and let them grow. So let's start. Let's see. We've got this line. We built all these lines because we had to feed directly into Winnemucca to get it growing originally. But now we'd like to clean that up and have a more kind of a quote generic unquote approach where we can feed both Winnemucca and Baker City. So Baker City, we need to expand. And I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and do it twice because you get so much better response time from these larger stations, better load and unload. So let's build a warehouse, put it about here. Let's get rid of some track. Let's clean up our messes a little bit. Let's put a warehouse. Where's center? Center is probably near that right there. So let's near that supply tower, obviously. So let us put a warehouse in here. It's going to serve those 2 cities. So we're going to want a line that goes up to our newly expanded Baker City. And we want that line to look about like that. And we'll double it up. Give it some signals. And the nice thing about this, it's a nice clean line. I mean, it's dedicated to Baker City. So that's going to feed Baker City from the warehouse. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And let's see, what do we have down here to work with? We do have one open slot, which as you can imagine is not an accident. That was by design. However, that slot is actually being used coming this way, our impromptu build of wood coming in. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get rid of this track right here, and that will freeze this slot up, and then we'll run our cotton and logs up to the warehouse, and that way either city can use them. So what we got here? All right, so let's double track this back. And look at this, we've got Baker City is growing. Oh, it just hit 20,000. These cities were so small when we started. What was I doing here? Building track. Yeah. Okay, so now we have that double track going in, and we just need signals for it. Okay, so now we've got our warehouse connected to both our cities that we're going to serve. Then we want to run our logs into that warehouse. There we go. And let's just run this line. And we don't want to touch the, oh, I goofed up too. Well, let me correct that right now. I don't want Winnemucca and Baker City to have to fight for the platform. I want them to come in on different spots, so I goofed up there. Let's fix that. Okay, so they're on platform 4. We want to be, Winnemucca needs to be on platform 3. Over there. And it's probably going to work better if I come in with this guy. Yep. Okay, now they have separate ones. Now we can get back to our what we were doing before, which was extending this line, letting it come around like so. And go into platform 2. Now, these are the trains that we had running in. Let's just go ahead and delete them. We'll start over on that. Stop. These are our original wheat and corn trains that were helping us grow Winnemucca. But we're going to reroute all this and let them feed into the warehouse. Now, is this my second line? 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Or my first one. This is the first one. Then we need to go back. Now, I could see someone who's maybe played other train games or just has his own opinion and looks at this and says, my God, that's too many tracks. Why are you laying so much track? What a waste. But I can tell you from experience that having these dedicated lines that you can control, and you know what kind of volume you're going to get, and you know what's going to be on that line and what isn't going to be on that line, is just makes your life a lot easier. So you end up with a lot of track, but two things happen. One, you get control, and two, you get really cool things like this where you get 6 and 8 trains passing each other all over the place. So there is a cool factor here too. So now we have a line that's going to bring logs into our warehouse. We're going to build a line to run that wheat into the log house. Let's just do that right now. Let's run in on this one up here. Now that would actually work for our wheat and our corn, but we want to double track. We're now serving bigger cities and 2 cities, not just one. So we're going to be running more trains, more than one corn train, more than one wheat train. And all those warnings don't mean anything. It just means there's a train out there faster than our express trains. We don't really care right now. I would like to get to this Jervis though. So let's go ahead and take this one. That'll open up this one for us. An accountant. Do we want an accountant? 10% off locomotives. Yes, we do. Okay. Slow down, guys. Slow down. All right, where are we? Where are we? Okay, we've got to get this line straightened out. And we also need to set up a little wheat. We have corn, logs, cotton, maybe sugar, milk. And there's veggies back there, so let's forget the sugar and grab the veggies. Okay. Okay, now we've got a nice double track that we can run corn, and we can have multiple trains coming in with corn. And we can also double track back to our wheat. Give it the right signals. Drive on the right. Drive on the right. So it comes down, takes this lane. Give it another drive on the right here. Comes down, takes this lane, comes in, and goes back out that way. Our corn and eventually veggies will come down like this. They'll come all the way out to here. When this is clear, they will come down here, go in, come back out. How are they going to come out? They'll just come right back out the same line. Okay. And this one is messed up. This is a great thing. I don't know if you picked up on this. Hopefully you can see it. You see how we've got a black and white lines going back and forth here for all our lines, except this one. See how it's got this red in it? That means there's something wrong with this line. Probably signals are set incorrectly or something. But I'll bet it's right in here where they can't get back properly. So what we probably ought to do here, let's clean this up. Let's let these lines kind of truly merge with each other. Let's let this line come in, merge with him, do the crossover thing. Check the signals. That's a right-hand turn, so it's not going to be a problem. And let's let this go up like so. And do the merge like that. So this guy will come in, he'll merge up with this one and go on in, and then he'll come out here. He's got a nice little crossover. He can go over. Beautiful, beautiful. So when he's coming down, come down here as far as you can. When you go back, make sure you got plenty of room to get out of the way. Same thing with this guy. When you come down as far as you can. And when you go back, just get on back. Okay. Now let's see if we have a problem. See, now it's cleared up. Now it's black and white because now this line can go all the way back. Now let's go ahead and set up some of this. We've got a line. Let's bring corn into our warehouse. And we're not going to move up to the, we're going to keep running the John Bull for now. We need to pick our money back up. We went momentarily broke there. Okay, there goes the John Bull. We'll run one more for now. And our money's dragging a little bit right now. I'm not sure what's wrong. Okay, I do see a problem over here though. Let me get another corn. Now this guy doesn't seem to like something he doesn't like. Why can't he reach where he's trying to go? Did I forget a signal? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong line. It's this far left one here. He's got a signal. He comes into this one right here. I don't see the problem. Drive on the right. And Oh. He still thinks we want him to go to Winnemucca. Sorry about that, buddy. We want you to go there now. And we might as well get a couple more. And over here we've got, let's do one more. And then let's do our wheat line from here. Go to there. Let's run a couple of them. Now, all that is worthless until we do this. We set up a line from here to Winnemucca. And we set up another one. And another one. Train, that is. Now we set up a line from here to Baker City. And another one. And another one. And we'll probably end up adding some more. But now Baker City, for the first time, is starting to get supplies. And it's already grown up to 71% or 31,000 just based on the fact that it's getting some meat. It's getting meat from Salt Lake City. It's making its own beer. It's getting some logs. It's gotten logs because they've been kind of wandering in from the ground. But we're going to get even up the ante on that, so that'll be better for them. And now we've got some supplies going into both of these cities. Not enough, but some. I want to get cotton too, for sure. And this one, I think we will do some sharing. We will come in like this. Merge with the log line. Scoot over where we belong. Check our signals and make sure we're driving on the right. And go back on that line right there. Oh, it would have been so nice if I'd managed to link those up. There we go. So when you come down here, go as far as you can. When you get off, make sure you can get all the way off. And drive on the right. So we're going to run cotton into here. And let's get our Jervis, because I do think that's going to be our train of choice for the rest of the way. And what would it cost us to make everything a Jervis? $3 million. Ouch. We won't be doing that for a while. Okay. So we've got Winnemucca's growing again. It actually must have diminished for a while. We've got this side set up and given them some supplies. Now we need to do the same thing on the other side. We need to build another warehouse and run materials in. We won't need cotton. We won't need cattle. We'll need logs. We'll need corn. We'll need milk. We need to go get some milk because we're required to have a couple of dairies started in this thing. So we're going to grab, there's only two sources really, here and here. I think I'd like to grab this one. Down here near the Grand Canyon. And go around the Grand Canyon. This is going to be a long line, but it's also going to help our freight revenue. Well, it'll help our freight revenue when we actually deliver it. Let's go around the Indians. See where we're trying to get to. Wow, way up here. Wow. I think again what we'll do is actually merge. I think we need to go to the other side. That's buku bucks to ship milk, but we're going to do it. 611. Go for it. Do our merge, check our signals, drive on the right. When you come back, let's see how bad it is to double track the whole thing, and then we'll decide if we want to cut it up into some passing lanes. Now let's go for it. It's nothing. And how are we doing here? All right, we got to move up our revenue on this. Haul more freight, haul more freight. Now, if we were to take this and connect that milk straight into a city, we'd probably solve our problem. But if we move it up here to the warehouse, we're only going to get paid for part of the shipment. But it's a much more organized, consistent way of doing things. Let's grab that professor and get some money. We can't afford him. It looks like at least 3. We need 90 grand for. I did build a tunnel. Yuck. Okay, good. So we're going to have a nice milk line. Two. Three. 4. 5. Let's just start with 7 for now. Okay, so we've got milk moving up into our cluster. That means we'll be able to put a dairy in somewhere. Well, looky here, we can put in a, how are we doing at Nampa? Give Winnemucca a museum so it just keeps right on growing. We got our milk is making its way up there, and since that's such a long haul, we definitely want repairs back here on this end too. Okay. Wow, they're 88%. That's pretty strong for that big a city. Okay. Look at this, another tailor. For God's sake, what is this with the tailors? This tailor has got to go. 590. Oh, she gonna try to outbid me? Oh, all right. She just should have just spent her money. So let's see if we can go down here and buy this one. All right, and of course we're going to destroy it. That's 300, and we're going to build a textile company, which is about 4. I think we need $700,000. Okay, slow down, slow down. I'm going to put a weaver in there. And bump him up. And he should be able to get plenty of cotton. And I'm missing, I'm going to throw a supply tower right there. Because these short liners are not getting to a supply tower. Slow down. Are we getting cotton? Yes, we have cotton in our warehouse. And Winnemucca will start carrying that cotton back and we will be looking good. And let's give them some more troops. And give them some more. Okay, one more thing to do and that side will be in good shape. And let's bring in our veggies. Since they're here, they're easy to get to, everybody needs them, or will need them. All right, so that's how you set up a warehouse and get it going. We want to do milk. Okay, we will let's see. When this city hits 90, which is about to, here we go. We're going to put a dairy in right now. Well, so we have 500,000. So now we've got weaving and dairy, one of our two dairies, and that this dairy will end up providing dairy for the entire cluster. And so that's how you set up kind of the supplies and what have you for two of the cities. You see how they're both growing. Kingman's actually growing. Salt Lake City is sort of in the doldrums, not quite growing right now. But we're going to fix that, I think, in the next episode. So I think let's stop there. That's how you set up a warehouse. We got two of them going. We're going to build another warehouse, kind of rinse and repeat. I'll probably do that offline and bring you back for the next piece that's interesting, because there's a lot of building I got to do to get this warehouse going. And once I get that done, then I'll bring you back online and we can see what happens next. So thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it makes you a better player. Hope you'll join us for our next episode as we conquer the quick Winnemucca free mode west. Thank you.